Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Last week, one of the biggest stories coming out of the League of Legends world was without a doubt the Reggie investigation. This wasn't the Riot / LCS or whatever investigation that we think and hope is going to be coming out relatively soon. This was, the TSM / the internal investigation that they had. I think it was an outside, third party independent investigation. I don't know exactly how it works with them, paying for it, funding it. I'm not going to pretend to know or understand everything that went down, but, we had the tweet from Reggie that he put out. Hey, pretty much, there was nothing unlawful. There was no sexual harassment. There was no discrimination, nothing like that. We didn't do anything illegal. So, you know what? Hey, that's an L for you nerds. We're moving on. I'm innocent. That type of thing. It got memed to hell, but Reggie put that stuff out and it was pretty interesting. But there was a lot of people, obviously, like I said, memeing it, making fun of it, saying, oh, we investigated ourselves and we did nothing wrong. Or, the Obama meme where he's putting the medal on himself and all that stuff. Double If, replied to him like, oh, ratio plus you investigated yourself plus you're a piece of shit or something. It was just really funny. Overall, a really big story. But obviously, a lot of people, and rightfully so, had a lot of questions about the legitimacy of it. A lot of people had questions even about what Reggie was saying or what the third-party independent investigators, whatever, were saying. And it led to this, which is some new updates regarding the whole situation. A lot of this comes from this guy, Mikhail Klementov, and this is not the first time we've talked about him on this channel. I can't exactly remember what the first thing was, but he's kind of like an investigative reporter, journalist, whatever, and he gets some inside scoops and stuff. I know he had a really, really good piece before that we talked about, and it was probably about some TSM stuff. It was probably about some Reggie stuff before. I don't know, but he knows a lot of people on the inside. He's done a good job, and he's been putting out stuff. So he decided to put out some new tweets after this article came out. This is the Washington Post. TSM finds no unlawful conduct in investigation of CEO Andy Din. And this guy, he works with the Washington Post. He says, the independent, I can't talk, investigation into Reginald, CEO of TSM, has found no unlawful conduct by the executive. He says he spoke with participants in that investigation. The investigator spoke with people as late as the last day of the inquiry, May 16th. Now, again, this whole thing came out May 27th, so it sounds like they were talking to people all the way up to May 16th, which is kind of weird because this whole investigation started late 2021, early 2022. I don't know exactly when Double If started making his comments and stuff, but this was at minimum 5 months ago. So kind of what were they doing between now and then? I don't really know. I know it's a question that a lot of people are going to have. It's kind of interesting, kind of weird, or maybe it just shows how thorough this investigation was that they were talking to people for this long. I don't know. It doesn't really seem like it's even possible to be talking to people for that long unless there was a lot of time of them doing nothing. I don't really know, but there's this whole thread. We get into a lot more. There's a lot of interesting stuff here, so do not worry. He does say an intriguing detail. The investigator contacted 39 people and spoke to 31, including all direct reports to Mr. Din. I wonder how many of those 8 are direct reports. I know of at least 2 executives who were contacted in the very last days of the inquiry. So again, that makes it even more interesting. Some very, very important people. These are, executives. These were people very, very high up, and they were only contacted in May. So again, what was happening for the past 5-6+ months? What was going on here? How was a big part of this investigation not talking to executives, not talking to, the biggest people, the direct reports to him? And again, if they contacted 39, they spoke to 31. Again, what's getting lost in those other 8 people? And then what about all the other people that they didn't contact or they didn't speak with? Obviously, over the past years, TSM has had a large influence. They've had a lot of employees come in and out. A lot of these allegations and stuff are dating way, way, way back. And I don't know, to me, a 5-6+ months investigation where you contacted 39 people, that seems a little bit small, at least in my opinion. That doesn't seem like, getting the full breadth of the situation. Now, maybe you contacted a bunch of people and a bunch of people didn't want to comment, or they, rejected you or didn't want to say things, or they were scared or worried, or I get that. But to contact 39 people, hey, that's a little bit of a weird one for me, I guess. We have this as well. He said he asked a participant in the TSM investigation what they thought of the results. And this person is echoing a sentiment that I think a lot of people in the community had, including myself. This person says, the investigation really seems to focus on the legal definition of harassment in protected classes, which isn't really what Doublelift or anyone was insinuating, which I think is a great point and is very interesting. Now, this is something I said that, like, they said, hey, we didn't find anything unlawful. We didn't discriminate anyone. There's no sexual harassment. We're like, okay, that's great. I mean, those are good things here. I'm glad you didn't do anything illegal. I'm glad there's no sexual harassment. I'm glad there's no discrimination. But was anyone accusing you of that stuff? Where did this even come from? So you just kind of said I'm innocent of things that you weren't even accused of, and then you didn't disprove any things that you actually were accused of by Doublelift, any of the things that have been shown on literal videos of you in the past that are obviously not even refutable. Maybe you can say you've changed since then, which is 100% possible, but maybe you haven't. That's kind of what people were accusing you of in the first place. So it was kind of weird. Now, this obviously led to people being like, hey, well, these investigators, they're not investigating whether someone's an asshole. They're investigating whether somebody did anything illegal, which is a fair point, and I get that. But then my argument is, well, why did we have this whole investigation, and why are we acting like the results are such a big deal if we're only going to find out if anything illegal happened when no one really cares? I don't know if cares is the right word, but no one really cares if anything illegal happened, because again, that's not really what this whole thing is about. Doublelift never said, hey, Reggie, you did something illegal, you should be in jail. He said, hey, you're kind of a dickhead and you're toxic and you make it a horrible environment and you're kind of ruining people's lives and mental and all this. That's not going to be illegal. You're not going to jail for that, So again, a whole kind of weird thing there. He did say then, I would of course recommend that you read the post reporting from earlier this month. Nobody wanted to be in a one-on-one meeting with Andy because you've had no witnesses. I mean that literally. This is what we reported on from this guy earlier. So now it is coming back to me that yes, we did. We have covered in videos his work on covering the TSM incidents in the past, which those were definitely very, very good pieces, very, very good articles. He does say all we would note is that this is not the investigation Riot conducted with the Players Association, said the NA LCS Player Association when reached for comment. This is TSM's own internal report produced by and for them and published by the subject of the investigation. So again, this is not the LCS or Riot or whoever's investigation. That seems like it is still to come, and maybe we'll have similar results, maybe we'll have different results. I don't know. Again, if they're just looking into the lawfulness of the whole thing overall, I don't really see how they're going to be able to come up with much different results. I think the much better case is, hey, what is the detriment that this is doing to TSM or by proxy the LCS? Because again, this is a franchise league, and if something bad is happening to one of its members, that hurts the entire league. So the league needs to act in the best interest of the entirety of the league, which includes TSM in their franchise league. So kind of keeping that in mind. This was kind of interesting, though. After the report came out, I think this was maybe the biggest deal of the whole thing and the most interesting part of this whole thing that I saw. He says, at a town hall today, one employee asked Din why TSM told sponsors about the investigation results before employees. They also questioned the likelihood of culture change, given Din describing the allegations against him as highly exaggerated. Because, part of Reggie's response to the whole thing was like, hey, I didn't do anything illegal, but maybe I've done some stupid stuff in the past. Maybe I've talked to people a little bit the wrong way. Maybe we call each other bots or silly nicknames around the office or whatever. But we'll change some of that stuff. I'm going to take some classes. There's going to be some training. We'll have some anonymous reporting. Hey, everything's all good, guys. Don't worry. And then everyone's like, yeah, but it seems like you're kind of shaking this off. It seems like, you're kind of denying and refuting a lot of these things, even though there is more and more kind of first-hand accounts coming out. Again, maybe they're true, maybe they're not, who knows, but at least allegations coming out. So people are questioning this. I think this is very, very interesting that people are actually questioning this to him. And yes, maybe an interesting note of, why was TSM sponsors told the results before the actual employees? Who knows there? It's this whole rabbit hole. It's getting really spicy. And even though Reggie wants to drop this tweet longer and kind of move on with his life, say, hey, our investigation's done. We didn't find anything. Peace out. Seems like there is still a lot more to the story. It seems like there are still a lot of people doing some digging. There's still investigations going on, and who knows what is going to happen next. Again, I don't even know what the options are to happen. I don't really even know what potential consequences could be if even any of these allegations are true. Again, it's very, very possible if they're not, or they're exaggerated, fabricated, whatever. But yeah. just a spicy story, entertaining stuff. Every day is a banger at TSM, and today and the past couple of weeks have not let us down in that regard. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about any of these new updates and stuff. Does this change your mind about anything from the investigation? Is this kind of exactly what you thought before? Or do you think this stuff's meaningless, pointless, stupid? I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, save today, and all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.